Good morning. This is Dr. Smart, and I want to talk to you about your next phase in your research project, your data analysis. I am working at Barnes & Noble this morning, so you may hear some music and coffee in the background. But I just want to face-to-face talk to you a little bit about what I expect from your next phase in the study. If you're listening to this video, you have done a quantitative research project, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the statistics that you're going to be running in this phase, and my expectations, and hopefully calm your nerves a little bit. So thanks for giving me a couple days to look through your data. I know a couple of you were itching to get started on the next module, and usually what I do, if I take a couple days up front, I'm going to give you a couple days on the tail end. So if you need maybe a couple more days to work on this next section of your project, then please let me know, and I will extend the deadline just a couple days. We don't want to get further than that, but with Thanksgiving as well and travel, just send me an email if you're going to need a couple extra days on your results section, and we will certainly do that. Capstone research online is a little more fluid. We have to have some flexibility in this course that other courses don't have, since you're all working on individual projects, and I do need some time occasionally between phases to look at your work. Looking at the way you've organized your data, I think everyone has things organized pretty well. Usually you want to put your, each participant is going to have a separate row in Excel. Your columns are usually going to be your variables, say your pre-test score, your post-test score, calculating growth between pre and post. Each survey item is going to have its own column. And it looked to me that most of you have that set up. If you don't have it set up that way, you may run into some problems with your data analysis, so make sure you have every participant on a separate row, okay? Some of you also have your data on separate spreadsheets. I think it will be okay for this because we're going to be working with mostly pretty simple statistics. Let me give you a little idea of what I want you to be doing with your data. This is not a statistics course, okay? I don't expect you to be independently running t-tests and ANOVAs and things that you haven't been trained to do. My philosophy is that as a researcher, you should be able to sit beside a seasoned researcher and run those kind of tests for the first time, and that's just not a realistic thing we can do in an online course. So we are going to be working with what's called descriptive statistics. They are your simplest level of statistics, and Excel runs these very well. Some of you probably already know how to run statistics in Excel on this descriptive statistics level. We're going to be working with means, standard deviations, range, low points, high points, that kind of thing. There's a lot that you can do with your data. Most of you are well versed in those kind of statistics, looking at averages and how averages differ. You're going to be able to be much more comfortable running those statistics. If anyone is just incredibly interested in looking at t-tests and ANOVAs, basically when you're looking at a t-test or an ANOVA, you're comparing means, okay? But instead of just saying, yes, the means are different, those tests are able to tell you if they're statistically significant. When you're doing quantitative studies that are published in research journals or that are used to make major claims for how the data can be used, you have to be able to show that your means are different enough that the intervention would be useful for a larger population, or that they're different enough that a medicine should be tried on the general population. We're not working with data that has high stakes in this class, so it's okay for us to just use descriptive statistics, just for you to get the hang of working with numbers. And it's something that I feel most of you have a general knowledge of, that you can be comfortable doing this. So that's the first thing I want to let you know, that I'm not going to be expecting you to run advanced statistics by yourself, okay? I know some of you have been in situations before where that was expected, and that's just not realistic, okay? So you do need to make sure on Excel that you have the analysis the little analysis pack downloaded. I'm going to be posting an Excel, kind of like an Excel cheat booklet on Module 4 under the documents, that shows you how to walk through installing that analysis pack on Microsoft Excel. It's usually, you just have to find it, and it'll show up then in the bar above your spreadsheet. Some of you may already have that downloaded. Sometimes it comes standard. It's not like you don't have to buy it. It's just something that's in Excel already. You just have to find it and have it show up on the bar. all I'm going to ask you to do is to be looking at means, standard deviations, ranges, low and high points for your data. So you are going to be able to use the Excel analysis functions to do that. I'm also in the same Excel tutorial that I'm going to post in booklet form. It will take you through a really simple step-by-step on how to perform those functions in Excel. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at the differences in averages between groups. Say that you did an experiment that looked at pre versus post for two different groups. Well, let's look at the average growth for group A. Let's look at the average growth for group B. Let's look at was it a difference that is greater than 1, or is it a difference that's fairly small? Okay, it's okay to talk in terms like that with your data. I want you to look at any of the averages you can look at. If you're doing a survey data, then you're going to have averages for each specific indicator. Okay, so maybe for question 1, what were the average responses? Were they in the high end, like agreement, or the lower end for disagreement? Look at trends in your data across different subjects, different indicators for your surveys. See what you can find in your data, basically. Let's run some easy stats, easy descriptive statistics. I am going to post a couple of quantitative examples, papers that use quantitative data and how they wrote up the descriptive statistics. Generally, you're going to have a very short paragraph talking about what you did. Okay, kind of talking about that you performed analysis on mean, standard deviation, etc. And then you're going to point people to a table. Okay, the easiest way to report descriptive stats is in a table. So I would really like to see a nice table that's referenced in the results section. Keep in mind, I hope all of you have used the final paper template I posted a couple modules ago, and that you're going ahead and putting all of your things in that final paper template. So you are writing your final paper right now. So this is the week that you're writing your results section. So what you're going to send me at the end of this module is your results section, okay? In the papers that I've posted, the examples, I've posted the entire paper to give you some context. Sometimes the results section out of context is just strange. So I've highlighted it so you can see what part you should be looking at. As always, please let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to talk through any of this on the phone if you need a little more guidance, or share more examples that could help you. But I feel like this is pretty straightforward. Just go through your simple analysis with mean, standard deviations, etc. I know I've been repetitive, but I'm making sure that I'm getting the point across that this should not be something that makes you uncomfortable. You're not running stats that are really complicated. And like I'd said, if you really are interested in looking at your data a little deeper, I'd be happy to run those stats with you. We could do that in a chat session online where we can pull up the Excel spreadsheet and do that together. Okay? Hopefully you're feeling comfortable. I haven't had anyone attending the Thursday office hours, so I'm going to take that to mean that you are all just doing great and not needing any help, and that you are feeling comfortable. Okay, so always let me know. I'm here if you need me, and we can communicate via email or over the phone. So let me know. Okay, you're doing great, and you are more than halfway there now. Okay, have a great week.